Okay, welcome everyone. Today's topic is how to increase your net worth by 1 million in less than 2 years. So today is one of the most interesting things that I'm going to share with you. I'm super excited because I've never shared this with you. Let me ask you this. When people tell you, do you really want to become financially free, right? So to most people, what that means is just financially free, meaning that they never need to worry about paying their bills or thinking about money anymore, but they're missing one very critical thing, okay? And that is time. Because let me tell you, friends, money comes and goes, right? It goes more than it comes, right? However, time, you can never get it back, okay? So today, I'm gonna show you how you're gonna be able to be financially free. I'm going to give you the secret formula that we've used to do 23 rentals in the last 2 years, and how you're going to become free of time so you can do what you like the most with time. Okay, because let me give you an example. There are many, if you think about it, there are many executives, right, in the corporate world who make a ton of money. However, they work over 40 hours, 50, 60 hours. So even if they have a lot of money, guess what? They don't get to enjoy it. They don't get to see their family. They don't really have the time to dedicate to their loved ones. And guess what? They're missing a lot because 5, 10, 15, 20 years can go by. And guess what? When they realize they have not devoted time to their loved ones, it's too late, right? Their children might be grown up. And guess what? You cannot take that time back. So our objective is to never, ever, ever miss a single highlight of our loved ones again. So I'm going to show you the secrets. So here, let me go on to the most important slides, how you're going to be able to accomplish both financially free and time free. So we're going to be leveraging from OPM, other people's money, and OPT, other people's time. Friends, if you combine these concepts together, which I'm going to show you today, I'm going to show you the secret, the formula, how you're going to be able to leverage from other people's money and other people's time, then you're going to be not only financially free, but also time free. So let me give you an example. Like, we were in Europe for 2.5 weeks. So we came back about 2 weeks ago. And then as soon as we came back, my sister-in-law and my nephews came from London. They just left yesterday. So I've been hanging out with them all day. So if you think about it, I was out for 4.5 weeks, and I don't have to worry about, doing anything work-wise, because everything works without me. And guess what? The more I do the work-wise, the more I slow things down. So the key, friends, is for you to remove yourself from the equation. Why? Because in achieving that freedom, guess who the bottleneck is? You. How many of you have a to-do list? And how many of you sometimes don't get to even the second item in your list? Many of you, most of us, right? So you've got to remove yourself from the equation, right? So it's very easy to say, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to accomplish that. So the way we're going to accomplish that, so I want to focus on other people's time. But before we get that, I want to show you where you need to be. This is one of my favorite books, Cash Flow Quadrant, okay? Why? So I'm going to quickly go over these. There are 4 quadrants. So let's explain the first one. Employee. This is where most people are, where they have a W-2. So they work for somebody else. So they have a job. So here, you've got to work 40 hours at least or more. Not only that, but you cannot leverage from other people's time and other people's money. You make where you work, okay? Not only that, but you're limited time-wise, right? You cannot take unlimited vacation. So ideally, you're going to migrate from this quadrant to the 4th quadrant. But let's move on to the next quadrant, self-employed. So this is a step up a bit, okay? So in this case, now you don't have a job, you own a job. So let me give an example of this quadrant. This is where you work for yourself. As an example of that, you're a general contractor, okay? Or you're a flipper, okay? Let's just take the flipper as an example. So the problem there is that you're not leveraging from other people's money or other people's time. Because guess what? If you, for whatever reason, are out of commission for 3-4 weeks, guess what happens to your income? It stops coming in, right? And you're not leveraging from other people's time or money. So that's a problem. Like, for instance, friends, when I joined Mastery with Andrew Holmes about 2 years ago, I injured my foot and I was out of commission for 6 months. So financially, it was a struggle. Okay, I didn't even show up to a single Mastery class, not a single one, friends. So that could happen to anybody. And about 2 weeks ago, my left eye, I had a blurry vision. So friends, anybody could be out of commission for unlimited amount of time. And guess what? You have to continue to have money work for you, and you have to have the freedom of time. So what's the next quadrant? Okay, the next quadrant this is the third one, and this is the business owner. So in this case, a clear example of this would be owning a franchise, okay, where they give you the know-how on how to run the operation. In this case, the problem is that you need quite a lot of money to buy a system that is already working for you. But in this quadrant, you're going to be leveraging from other people's time because you're going to be having people working for you, okay? Money, not so much, okay? So the next quadrant is where you want to be, friends. The fourth quadrant, or the investor. Here you're going to be leveraging from other people's money and other people's time. Now, how does that work? Okay, in this case, let me give an example. When you buy a property and you hold on to the property, guess what's happening in this case? The tenant is actually paying for the mortgage, okay, or the property itself. And not only that, but obviously the objective is for the property to cash flow. So not only is the tenant paying your mortgage, but it's also putting cash in your pocket. That is why this is so powerful. So the tenant, you're leveraging from other people's money, in this case, the tenant's money, and other people's time. Why? Because if you are out of commission, let's say for about a month, okay? Guess what? Will the tenant stop working for a month when you are on vacation? No, the tenant will continue to work, okay? And they're going to continue to pay you rent, and that rent will pay your mortgage. So this is the quadrant where you want to be. So that is why when you're given the option, when you have a great deal and you're thinking about it, should I flip or should I buy and hold? By all means, try to hold the property, because this is where true financial freedom comes into the picture in real estate. Holding on to properties, okay? Because over time, guess what's going to happen to your net worth? Is going to go up. Why? Because property prices go up, rents go up, your mortgage schedule or amortization, as you pay off the property, guess what? Your cash flow will continue to go up every single year. And guess what? You don't need to do anything. I mean, you remove yourself by putting a property management, okay, that will take care of the headaches of working with the tenants. So you're leveraging from other people's money and other people's time. Not only that, but tonight I'm going to show you the secret how we're going to be leveraging from other people's money to buy the property with very, very little money out of your pocket, and then refinancing the property, and then having your tenant pay for the mortgage. And not only that, but cash flow in the property. So again, friends, the example of the second quadrant, self-employed, will be a flipper. In this case, the flipper has to find the deal, has to rehab the property, and has to market the property successfully and sell it for a profit. So when you do 2, 3, 4 flips a year, then when the next year comes, guess what? You have to start from scratch. You have to start from zero. And if you stop, guess what happens to your income? It stops. So you do not want to be in the second quadrant. That is why we focused on rentals, 23 rentals. We've done 3 flips, but that is not the objective. The objective is to do rentals. Now, I'm going to give you an example when you want to do flips very quickly. When you find a great deal, but let's assume this great deal requires a big rehab. So let's assume it's a good rehab, but it's still a great deal. So it's not recommended to take on the project. It's better to take on projects that are light to medium rehab. So in that case, that's a great candidate for a wholesale deal. Okay, so you don't need to actually do the rehab yourself and try to flip the property or even keep the property, right? Because taking big projects take up a lot of time. It's too risky with your holding expenses and trying to sell it for a profit. Not only that, but if your rehab goes wrong, then the risk goes a lot higher. So that is why when you buy a property for rental, when you purchase a property, the price you're going to pay for it is more forgiving. Whereas for a flip, you really need to get it for a great deal because you need room, not only for the rehab, but also for the carrying cost. Whereas if you do it for the rental, you still have more room. You have more time to recoup. Okay. So friends, you want to be on the 4th quadrant. As an investor, so you leverage from other people's time and other people's money. Now let's go on to the next slide. I want to focus on other people's time, okay? Because in all the RIA meetings we've attended, they show you how you're going to be able to buy a lot of properties. But guess what happens? When you start buying properties, you start to become busier and busier and busier. So what happens is that you end up being the bottleneck. And guess what? You go back to quadrant 2, that you cannot leverage from other people's time and other people's money. Therefore, I want to make sure that I spent enough time here leveraging from other people's time. So I'm going to show you how you're going to do this. There are 3 platforms that we use heavily. One of them is Upwork. The next one is Fiverr. We use Skype and then TaskRabbit. So we use these to leverage from other people's money. So how do we use this? So Upwork is a platform for freelancers. So from Upwork, right now, we have 23 people hired. Okay, they do a lot of work for us. So they help us not only with ChicagoDealVault, but they also help us find deals for us. Okay, because when we're out on vacation or we decide to do whatever with our time, guess what? We don't want to miss a deal. So we have people constantly using ChicagoDealVault to find deals for us. Does that make sense? So Upwork is a great platform to find highly skilled individuals at a great price. That's the key, friends, that you get to pay very little money for highly qualified individuals. Fiverr, you can also find freelancers, but Fiverr, typically we use it to get certain tasks done. So for instance, if you want to have a website created, boom, hire a Fiverr freelancer. Okay, and we're going to go over some of the examples, how you hire people, how you create a project, so people apply for the project. And then we use Skype for communication with freelancers. So all of these are free tools. The reason why we use Skype to communicate, because Upwork and Fiverr, they both have messaging platforms, but we don't use them because in the past, we've worked with great talent and we communicated through Upwork, and all of a sudden that talent was removed from the platform Upwork for whatever reason. Okay, maybe they didn't provide the documents Upwork required, whatever reason, and we lost all the communication, contact, everything. So we decided to now use Skype, so we always can get in touch with the freelancer whether they remain in Upwork or not. Okay, and then we use TaskRabbit for local. So this is people here in Chicago, local, who can do any task for you at a great price. Okay, but we heavily focus on Upwork and Fiverr to hire the top talent anywhere in the world. Okay, we typically like people from Eastern Europe because they're very sharp, very reliable. Okay, that's what we found. They're just great people to work with. And so let's just dive into Upwork. Okay, I want to show you what that is and how you're going to be able to leverage from other people's time. So this is what I'm going to propose to you, friends. This is what I want to make work for you. Last night, we had a live event, and I exactly went over the same topic. And I created a job. Look, need real estate assistant. Okay, I posted this job about a day ago. You see, 23 hours ago. Look at this. I have 11 applicants for this job. So this is what I'm going to make you an offer for all of you who are on the line. You can hire a virtual assistant. So they call these freelancers VAs or virtual assistants for about $5 to $7 an hour. And these are very sharp individuals. So this is what I propose. I would like you at the end of the presentation to create an account on Upwork, hire a freelancer for 4 to 5 hours a week. Okay, so you're going to end up paying about $25 a week or about $100 a month. And guess what? We are going to train your VA on ChicagoDealVault. So your VA will be able to find great deals for you. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you are active that week or not, but we want to help you free up time of your life. Okay, and you're gonna find these incredibly awesome. Okay, I just don't have any words, right? Because we use them left and right. So I'm going to show you how, like, for instance, as an example, I'm learning Albanian. My wife is Albanian. We just came back from Albania. Guess what? I hired a native speaker from Albania to teach me Albanian, 10 to 15 minutes daily. Okay, and it's been amazing. So I pay a fraction, like $5 an hour for a native speaker, whereas in the US, if I was to hire a tutor, I would pay between 30 to 50 an hour. Okay. And then we have webmasters. We even, this guy, he's a CPA. We have him go over our profit and loss statements. He creates ratios. So he's incredible. So we have a lot of tech people. We have customer service. We have for our CRM, Silky, for instance, you know, she does everything on our CRM. And believe me, I'm a fast learner. I can do stuff in our CRM, but I chose not to because I want to empower. I want to delegate to people who can do it quicker and much better than me. And not only that, but I don't want to be the bottleneck. If I'm out, if I want to take time off, they can do it quicker, cheaper, faster, better than you. Believe me. Niham, she's an amazing developer. So we can go on and on and on. So right now, as you can see, here we have 23 contracts, active contracts. So far, for instance, this week, we've paid about 1,100, okay? But imagine if I was to have 23 people on staff hired in the US, not only would I need to pay for a space, office space, but I would have to pay for benefits, a lot of overhead, utilities, and so forth. So it would come nowhere near 1,100. So I'm paying a fraction for the labor that we're getting in exchange. Do you see the power of these, friends? Do you see this? How powerful this is? So here, let me just give you an example. This is the job I created, and these are the people that applied. And look at this. Let's just look at the first one. This is just freaking amazing, friends. So my job description was, I need somebody to help me find great deals. So let me view the post. I want to backtrace. So let me see the description of my project. Oh, it's right here. Need help finding great deals using a real estate software. That's it. And then I had the option to invite freelancers. I didn't invite anybody. So I had people apply to these jobs. So let's just look at the first one. Real estate lead generation specialist and appointment setter. Check that out, friends. This is the first time that I see this because I didn't log on all day today. I was hanging out with my daughters. So she charges $4 an hour. She's made 20,000 or more. And let me see, success rate is 94. She's from the Philippines. Let me give you something. People from the Philippines speak great English. And there are some people, especially we work with a lot of people from Ukraine. They're extremely sharp. They may not speak English, but guess what, friends? You do not need to speak with them. You're going to communicate everything through Skype. Okay, so I really like this individual, $4 an hour. So imagine if we have, her name is Shela, just hit the software, right? Find deals, make appointments, okay? For only $4 an hour. So if you have her work 1 hour, Monday through Friday, that is only $20, friends. That's you going out for a nice dinner, or maybe even less than that, okay? Imagine spending 5 hours for 4 weeks, so that is 20 hours. You're gonna end up paying only $80, friends. And guess what? We're gonna train your virtual assistant, okay? We're gonna train them to not only find deals, but also generate the presentation report to get the deals funded. Do you see the power of these? And in fact, friends, as we're speaking, I will for sure hire this individual, okay? It wouldn't hurt to have an extra pair of eyes, finding more deals for us. But if I continue down the line, you see $5.50. He's made over 30,000, and then he's from India, rising talent. So this is important, right? We don't hire people who have a success rate less than 90%, okay? We just want to work with successful people. And we don't really care where they're from or whether they can speak English. I just care about their written communication. Okay, so the first thing that I will do when I'm interested in somebody is send them a message and say, can we please communicate via Skype? So I want to take them out from Upwork as far as the communication, and then we just exchange a couple of phrases, and then if everything looks good, it doesn't hurt to try them. Okay. Now there are two ways that you can hire somebody. Either you pay on an hourly rate right here, or you can do it by project. So what I suggest is when you start, just do it hourly. There are certain projects that I say my budget is $100. I need this and this and this done. So whether they take 10 hours or 15 hours, that's not my problem, but my budget is $100. But when I'm trying out people, I like to do it by hour, and then you have the option through Upwork to set how many hours they're going to be working for you a week, whether 5, 10, or whatever. So in this case, let me show you how to post a job, okay? So I'm going to go to job, my jobs, and then I'm going to post a job. So here, create a new posting, short-term or part-time, dedicated long-term. So we're gonna do, because here is less than 30 hours a week, so just pick somebody part-time, continue, and then the title. So I'm gonna say, need real estate assistant, okay? And then job category will be, let me see, more options. So it's going to be customer service or admin support. Okay, these are the generic categories. I would say admin support, and then select specialty. online research, order processing. So I'm going to say virtual admin assistants. Okay, so very generic. Save. And then next. Now here's where you type in the description. So need assistance finding real estate deals in Chicago, for instance. Okay. Now, additional files, no. You just want to keep it very simple. Now, here they ask you, is this a one-time project or ongoing? So I like to say ongoing because you're going to have more candidates apply for your project, okay? Because this would be like a one-off, so it's better to do an ongoing. And if you think about it, you want somebody to be finding deals, doing a lot of the work for you on a continuous basis. Now, do you have screening questions? Forget about these, don't complicate things. You can add questions, you can ask them to give you their resume. No, just keep it very simple. Now here, some expertise. So here, what I'm going to look for is just real estate. Very simple, real estate. Done. Okay, so they're gonna be real estate. Virtual assistant, so I want them to have some sort of real estate knowledge. And then here, add a different skill now? No, just very plain. Now here you have the option to hire people only from the US or worldwide. So obviously you want to go worldwide. This is how you're gonna outsource and then really leverage from other currencies, right? That you're gonna be paying a fraction. And then you also have the option to select regions like Europe and so forth, or by country. So I just leave this open. However, when we hire technical people, we like to go to Europe, okay? Europe and then India, they're extremely talented. But for now, for a virtual assistant, just go worldwide, okay? Now, who can see this job? Okay, so anyone. You want anybody who searches Upwork and public changes to apply for the job. Only Upwork talent or invite. So here we're gonna be generic, anyone. How many freelancers? One, so right here. And then do you have freelancers or agencies that you want to invite? No, I don't have anybody. So now this is a good point. You have the option to hire a freelancer and there are some agencies, okay? I typically don't like to work with agencies because they're going to charge you more. So they're the middlemen. And then you communicate with way too many people. I like to communicate with the source, with the freelancer who's going to be doing the work. Okay, I don't like to communicate with the manager, and then the manager is going to assign somebody. And then one time we tried this agency. The reason why I didn't like it is because I had a job, right? And then they assigned, let's say, Johnny to it. And then 2-3 weeks later, they pulled Johnny out and they brought Peter. And guess what? We had to retrain Peter, but they sort of did the training for Peter, but it was not the same. So I didn't like that, right? If I hire somebody, it's because I really like that individual. So I don't want the agency to shuffle people around based on their priorities. No. So plus they're going to be more expensive. So you want to hire freelancers, okay? And then that's it. So next, budget, okay? So are you going to be paying by the hour or pay a fixed price? So for ongoing, as it says, it's better to do by the hour. Okay, now you have the option to pay little, intermediate, or expert. So for a VA, you want the entry. Remember, you are going to be looking for people with over 90% success rate. Okay, so that's going to be the key indicator, and people who have made money already in Upwork. We don't hire people who have made $0. Okay, so we like people who've done work in Upwork. We typically don't need to hire experts, although we've made exceptions for, like we've done some app development. We're currently doing some app development, and we want top talent. So we're willing to pay top dollars for them. So now next, how long? So you can say more than 6 months, because this is going to attract better talent. Okay, if you have something like 1 to 3 months or less than a month, the better ones, they want something more permanent. So you won't have really great talent apply for it. So you want to do more than 6 months. And then, do you have time requirements for this project? No, you can say less than 30 hours a week. Next. And then that's it. Pretty much the description, the job category, the details. It is very simple. And then you post the job. So this is exactly the same posting that I did yesterday. So I won't go through it. So leave page. I don't want to post a second job because we already got 11 applicants. And then you're going to be communicating via Skype. So in Skype, like this is my tutor in Albanian, right? And what's really cool about Skype is that you can create chats or groups. So for instance, in here, we have a webmaster, ChicagoDealVault. So I added a few people in here. So we have 1, 2, 3, like 5, 6 people in a group. So you can all communicate. This is, friends, where you start removing yourself from the equation, right? If something goes wrong, you have people look at issues, right? They communicate, you empower them, you let them think like you. So at the beginning, you obviously need to write documentations or you need to work with them. But that's what I'm offering to all of you, friends, today. We're going to be training your VA for free, okay, for free. We're not going to charge extra. We're going to be training your VA for free. And you communicate with them via the chat. So everything is in writing. So we have, as you can see, we have multiple chats here. Priority, customer service, phone app. We have a lot of Infusionsoft. We have a lot of chats that we work with. So with multiple participants right here, right? So this is the power of using other people's time. This is how you remove yourself from the equation, have other people do the work better, more efficient than you can. And even if you're not able to, guess what? They are dedicated to do what you don't have time for. Okay, so you've got to start doing this. It is just amazing, friends. Like for instance, if I have a document that needs to be DocuSign, I don't even do that. I just send a request with the document and they do it for you. So I just check my email on my phone and then boom, 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 click on the initials or signatures and that's it. They do it for you for a fraction, right? So that's the power of it. Now let me move on to Fiverr. Okay, so Fiverr.com. That's another great website. This is for small projects. They call them geeks. Okay, so anything that you need, let's say you need a logo, you need a website, this is where you can find people for very cheap. So let me show you. We've done orders. If I look at the orders, let me show you all the orders as an example. We've done like over total 240, 208 completed orders. So we hire QA people. We hire just about anybody that we need, specific jobs. So for instance, let's say you want a website or a logo, right? Logo design for your project. Boom. You can get it even for, let's say, $30, right? Whereas if you hire a designer here in the US, you would pay hundreds, right? Something that is very important that I want to mention here in the filters is that we like to hire sellers with level 2, okay? So when they become sellers, or these are the freelancers in Fiverr, they become new sellers, then they move on to level 1. So we don't hire new sellers or level 1. We like level 2. So these are very experienced people and they still charge very reasonable. And then you have the top talent. These are going to be extremely expensive people. So if I just hire top talent, it's going to be a lot more expensive. So we like to look at them, but we've had great experience with level 2 people.
You should download.
Okay, so you really need to focus on level 2 and no related or top related sellers. Okay, so this is where you're gonna find the top talent. Here's some background. Let me mute these. Okay, perfect. So these are the two websites that we use extensively, and then back to Fiverr. And then the next one that I mentioned was TaskRabbit, okay? So this is where you can find local freelancers to do pretty much anything for you, okay? So again, you can put in what you need, describe what you need, and you can find people very reasonable. So again, this is how you can leverage from other people's time frames. Now, let me go back to the presentation and show you. That was on the time. Now, this is the secret of how you can build a multi-million-dollar portfolio and have the leverage of other people's money. So this is one of the first properties that we did about a year and a half ago or 2 years in hometown. So this is a very simple, small property, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 800 square feet. So the purchase price, 54, rehab, 16,000. So all in, 70,000. Okay, so the way you need to approach these properties is that when you purchase a property on the upfront, you have to use a hard money lender or a private money lender. So the why private money lenders or hard money lenders, the cool thing about them is that they are asset based. Okay, so they care about the property itself. They don't care so much about your taxes, your W-2s, all that documentation. All they care about you having a great deal, okay? And that's where the freelancers come into place, right? That we're going to train for you for free to get you these type of deals. Whether you have time to spend on the system or not, it doesn't matter. They will do that for you. So once you decided whether you use a hard money lender or a private money lender, so the difference between them is very simple. Hard money lenders are corporations, institutions, such as Chicago Funding, which is our preferred partner, Capital One, Patch of Land, Constructive Loans, Renovo, Barnett Capital. Those institutions are going to charge about 2 points, and the interest rate will vary from 9%, I've seen, all the way to 15, 16%. And then private money lenders, those are individuals. So they're relationship based, is who you know, who have a lot of money in cash. They chose to be passive investors, so they're willing to give you money, but obviously they're going to be first position on the property. So they're going to put a lien on the property. They're going to be on the insurance, and also they're the beneficiary for the rentals. I mean, for the rent, in case something goes wrong, they are absolutely the beneficiary. So in ChicagoDealVault, we have members who are private money lenders. So if you have a great deal, please let us know, and we're going to line up funding for you, whether it's hard money lender or private money lender. So friends, the cool thing about either private money lender or hard money lender is that they're going to finance the rehab, okay, up to 90 to 100%, which is amazing. The key thing is that you have to finance the rehab yourself. Once you do the rehab, then they're going to refund you for the money, okay? So this is, in that case, when we have to finance, let's say 16,000, we use business credit cards. I'm going to say this again, business credit cards. So they don't go into your personal credit, okay? So if you don't have the business cards list, please send us an email, and we're going to send you a list of the business cards we have. We have about 6 or 7 from Chase, Bank of America, and so forth. We're going to give you that list so that you can apply for them. Because if you hire another company to apply for business credit cards, they're going to charge you 10%. So if they get you, let's say 40,000 in business credit cards, they're going to charge you 10% or 4,000. So I want to make sure that you don't spend the money we wasted doing that, because they just apply online for you. So I want to give you that information if you don't have that. So friends, once you purchase the property, did the rehab, then you have to rent the property. Once that is done, then you're going to bring the conventional lenders to do the refinance and pay off the hard money lender or private money lender. So in this case, this was a great deal because the property appraised for 115, okay? So all in is 70,000 and then it appraised for 115. So therefore, we still have a room of about 45,000 of equity in the property. So friends, when you now have done the rehab, rented the property, now you need to refinance the property with a conventional lender such as Homebridge is our preferred partner. So I'm talking about conventional lenders are the big banks, Chase, Bank of America, BMO, and so forth. Our preferred partner, Homebridge, okay? So they're gonna want you to have at least 20 to 30% equity on the deal. So in this case, what we did is we took out on the refinance 75,000 or 65% of the ARV to pay off not only the money we put down for the down payment, which was about 5,000 to 6,000, because they want you to have skin on the game, but also the rehab and closing costs. So we took out 75,000 to pay off all-in expenses. Okay, and not only that, but we still have a remaining 35% equity on the deal, or 40,000. So friends, this is how you're going to increase your net worth by 1 million in the next 2 years. Imagine if you do one of these deals per month. Let's assume you do 10 deals of these a year. Imagine, multiply 40,000, 50,000 times 10, that's 500,000 in 1 year that you increase your net worth. Not only that, but the tenant is going to be paying for the property and you are going to be cash flowing. So in this case, this is the rent, this is the principal, interest, tax, and insurance after the refinance. So look at this. Not only does the tenant pay for your mortgage, but you also end up with cash flow in your pocket. So you have the option to spend that cash flow, or even better, apply that towards the principal. So you pay down the property in less than 10 years. That's where the true power of wealth is in real estate, when you pay down the principal. So friends, this is the secret sauce of how you can have very little money down on the deal, use other people's money and other people's time, right? So not only are we using the hard money lender or the private money lender on the purchase and the rehab, but also on the back end, once we've done the rehab and put a tenant into the property, we're using the tenant's time and money, right? Because the tenant is working to pay you the rent, to pay for the property, and excess of cash flow for you. So we're leveraging from other people's money, other people's time, when you are on the on a rental. And not only that, friends, but you are on the fourth quadrant, right, of the cash flow quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki as an investor. So you have money working for you. Whether you decide to take 1 month off or you're out of commission for whatever reason for, let's say, 2 months, it doesn't matter because you have the tenant working for you, right? They're going to be paying expenses, and you will end up not only with equity on the property. Over time, your net worth will continue to increase. The return on the investment is infinite because at this point, when we refinance, we have zero money on the deal. So we didn't put anything. And not only do we end up with a property, but we have equity building up, cash flow coming in. This is how you build wealth. So have your VA do this for you, right? So finding the deals, that is the key, friends. Whether you're going to do a wholesale, a flip, or a rental, that's the second step. But this is where I want you to hire a VA that we're going to train for you for free, so they start giving you these type of great deals, because that's how you're going to be making money in real estate, okay? So friends, that concludes today's seminar. I just want to open up the line for any questions for you. If you have any questions, are there any questions on the line?
So did you say all I have to, this is Marjorie, by the way.
Oh, Margie, hi. Go
Hi.
ahead.
So did you say all I would have to do is email you tomorrow morning, or should I go to Upwork and try to see if I can put my
Go
ad or whatever on
exactly.
first?
Post the job. So what I would like all of you, there are a lot of people online. So what I would like you to do, all of you tonight, as soon as the webinar is over, create an account in Upwork, post a job for a real estate assistant, okay? And as you saw, I have an applicant for $4 an hour that I will for sure hire, okay? And then once you hire the individual, then communicate with them via Skype, send us their contact information, and we're going to train them on ChicagoDealVault, okay? So that somebody that you're going to be paying a fraction will be, finding deals on your behalf. 5 hours a week. Hire them for 5 hours a week. Okay, even for the first month, you're going to spend $100, but that can give you a return of 100 times fold that amount, that investment. Think of it as an investment. Okay, and this is just real estate, friends, but you can use virtual assistants for just about anything that you do. So stop having to-do list or post-its on your computer. Forget about that. You've got to empower other people who can do the job better, faster, more efficient than you can, and free up some of your time, please. Do not miss highlights of your loved ones. Okay, that is the message that I want to give you. And I gave you the secret of how you can accomplish that today, like tonight. Hire a freelancer. You're going to get some applicants by tomorrow if you post a job. And then tomorrow itself, send us the contact information. We'll schedule everything, train them, and free up some of your time. Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you. This was great. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. I believe there's another question on the chat. So the question is, what was the preferred refinance lender? Homebridge, okay? And we have those in ChicagoDealVault. We have a tab called Preferred Partners, and then go to Lenders, and we have Homebridge.
Yeah, but I don't think this is our webinar, the one I'm supposed to be on. I think this is something else he's having right now.
Okay, are you getting commercial loans or residential loans? So we're getting a combination of both. So the question is, when we refinance, are we using commercial or residential lenders? So we're using both. We've used commercial lenders when we do the refinance for more than one property. Okay.
Let me ask him if this is the
and then we use
webinar that starts at 7. That it starts
we use also residential when it's just a single property. Okay. Are there any other questions on the line? Okay, friends. So if there are no further questions, please take action tonight. Create an account in Upwork, Fiverr, and start freeing up your time. And we're going to train your VA to start generating deals for you. Okay, friends? So thank you for joining tonight, and I look forward to seeing you in our next week's live event on Tuesday. Make sure that you come to Jory. It's going to be very powerful.
this is something different.
Okay, friends. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.